Hey guys, Airsoft Al here. Yeah. Now, I know this is a bit different from what I usually do, and believe me, this is a bit out of the norm for myself. Put this over here. But yeah, and you're not dreaming, you're seeing two different Thompsons. You're seeing the original next to the new kid on the block. And what we're going to do today is we're going to compare the two and see how far one company has come in the Thompson AEGs. Now the first thing I want to point out is the batteries. This is a regular 8.4 volt, 400 milliamp nickel hydrate battery. Designed a bit differently with the bottom battery here and the wire up here. I'm guessing it was to give you more space, so it's more heavier in the back, I guess. And here is now a modern looking 8.4 volt milliamp. This one is an 1100 milliamp, while this one is a 450 milliamp. Much more power in the newer one compared to what we had in the 2008. I could definitely say for sure we have come a long way since 2008. So the batteries over to the side. Now, if you compare the guns side by side, you'll see they're both same length, same dimensions, sort of, to a certain degree. Try and set that there. Now, the big factor in it all is overall consistency. Now, when the first one came out, this was all polymer. Even the magazine release, which is still a bit hard to pull out, is polymer. The magazine's polymer. And that's really about it. Now, talking about the magazines themselves, that's what I want to get on next, is the magazines. Now, I know this might be Cat. I just realized you were there. I was too busy concentrating on magazines. Would you please go? Please go. Please. Please. Thank you. Now, talking about the magazines themselves, this one is a 30 round mid-cap. This is a 300, and I'm guessing 80 round, 350 high cap or 300 high cap. I'm not really sure yet. Now, if you actually put them side by side, you will see a difference in dimensions almost, especially in the design of the actual lips here. The mags are actually, this one's actually wider than this one here. This one is actually dimensionally a centimeter or two wider than this. And that is why it's stiff going into this one than it is this one, because it's a tiny bit wider. It's just that slight tiny bit. However, cross compatibility wise, if you wanted to, you could take this one here and just slap her in real nice, and she'll slide right out because of how thin the actual mag release is, how thin the actual guide for the actual mag is. That's a lot of wobble right there, guys. Like, not even joking there. And there's a tiny bit of wobble there, but it will feed BBs into the actual gun itself. But, like I said, thinner because of the time period that it came out, from 2008. Now with the magazines talked about, let's go ahead and talk about the guns themselves. Construction-wise, both built wonderful. You can definitely tell each one is a bit different. This one's the full metal modern day version, which has the Thompson logo on top, U.S. property on the back, the Auto Ordnance Corporation, Worcester, Massachusetts, United States, but it has a made in China on the bottom. I don't like that, honestly. And then, of course, on the side it says Thompson submachine gun caliber 6mm M1A1, which I do like that. I really do like that they put the 6mm in there, not instead of the 45 caliber. It has a unique serial number as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about the side we're on right now. Both polymer construction, even though both look really good and feel like real wood almost. I really do like that. I like it when a company can make polymer feel like wood and fool me into thinking it's wood. I like that. Now, as for the actual fire and safety thing, this one has been laser engraved in, this one's been stamped in. It definitely shows the periods they came out. Magazine release, once again, very nice. This one is actually made of metal, this one here is made of polymer. And you can definitely tell the difference between the full metal components. And like I said, each one, snap, snap. Each one has the same amount of snap in them. Now, when going on the other side, oh my goodness, this is heavier. Going on the other side, why don't we go ahead and rack the charging handle? I'll be right back. I am sorry for that, guys. Now, as I was saying, now what's funny is this one here is polymer, while this one here is actually surprisingly made out of somewhat polymer, I think. No, that's actually metal. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and get the old one out of the way first. So rack it all the way back. Just gonna third time. Let that sink in. That's polymer hitting polymer. Now let's go ahead and get the metal one. Third time. Ah, damn it. Okay, third time. Not really, I mean, I would say it's a satisfying click, but I wouldn't say as much of a satisfying click. Now what's really interesting is that there are some parts here I'm definitely not recognizing. Now the mag release is definitely one. I'm seeing this. This is definitely not really, apparently. But the mag release lever knob here is definitely much more protruded than the one on the original. Now looking over the actual bells and whistles, the front is a little bit, I mean, the design of the actual sling points themselves are definitely different. You have this one here that has 2 screws but is much more protrude. Well, this one's more close down but has 2. I'm definitely going to be swapping these around to give me more, since this one is more loose but has 2 screws. This one, however, is nothing, and I'm definitely going to be swapping around certain things, guys, because it looks like both are compatible. However, the big difference is the big change. All the screws on this one are flathead. Phillips head, flathead, flathead, Phillips head, flathead, 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 Phillips head. And on the other side, flathead, thankfully enough. So yeah, there is definitely a significant difference. Now what I'm curious about is whether or not the screw placements definitely played the key role in undoing the actual top part of the gun, which was what we're going to do now. We are going to undo the gun. Oh my god, that just feels really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo the gun. What we're going to do is we're going to first unscrew the back screw. Unscrew the back screw here on the new one, and then we're going to unscrew the back screw on the new one. I can definitely feel something in there that just came out, so yeah, that's definitely new. There we go. Go. Okay. Yep, that definitely undid it. Okay, so the first one, we're going to go ahead, press the button on the back, which is not as big. They definitely improved that on the new one. Then what you want to do is you want to pull back on the charging handle to the little nub. Push forward a bit. Definitely push forward a bit. There we go. There we go. Aha! And there we go. We have the little bit of a greasy inside of the actual gun for disassembly and all that. And I mistook this. This is actually a metal slide. I'm definitely surprised. There we go. A little bit of weight in this, a little bit of weight in this. Definitely a light Thompson. And the question is, are they both cross-compatible with the actual uppers? So that way I have a little bit more of a lighter upper and a much more heavier upper for the polymer. That will be another video for another day, guys. And I need to stretch out my legs a bit because they're starting to fall asleep. Oh, good lord. Okay, so we're going to set this like this. And we can definitely take a look at the internals in the old one, seeing that they're all polymer. And that's definitely a look to the past that I'm definitely impressed by. Now, set that over here. And now we are going to remove the upper for the new Thompson. Kind of curious how it removes. And apparently, same as before, we just pull the slide back. pull it back just a little bit, push forward. Hello. And there we go, fully assembled. Now, from actually looking at the two parts, yes, parts are pretty much compatible with what they are. And for removing the orange tip on the newer version, it can be removed, which I might as well go ahead and show you how to do that, which would be very easy. Apparently it just splits down the middle, so that's not too bad. Where's my screwdriver? Where's my other flathead screwdriver? So what we're going to do is we're basically going to just pry her open. Nah, that ain't gonna work, so I'm just gonna let her try and battle her way up. But speaking of orange tips, well, actually not only speaking of orange tips, but actually looking at some stuff, I can definitely see a few components here and there that have changed. The actual line, well, let me go ahead and pull you guys down so you can actually see what I'm talking about. This here, the actual lined barrel that actually lines up with this actually is changed. While this one here adopts more of a octagon style actual inner barrel sort of deco sort of. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but at the same time I kind of don't like it, but I do like the actual full metal finish. I mean, there are some things on these guns that I like and don't like. Now each gun, I will admit, is probably cross-compatible, and I like the idea of cross-compatibility between the old and the new one. Speaking of which, old and new gearboxes, with a full metal gearbox, I actually do like the idea of new sound. So what I have are two batteries that were provided to me by Mr. X, both Swiss Arms, which is basically just a fancier term for the battery. So, we have an 8.4 volt. We're going to try the 8.4 volt. Now, this is where the critical point comes down to in the evolution of each one. The removable buttstock here, you basically just flip up a switch, wiggle this off, and then just boom, just like that. Done. As for this one, you actually flip a back door back here that could be used for your cigars, what have you. I don't have any nails, so I have to use the screwdriver. There we go. Now what that does is it actually flips a lever, sort of. You pull back, flip forward. I do kind of like this feature because it definitely does sort of a locking mechanism. Now, this one has a fuse while the other one does not. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. I'm scared to even try and mess with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 8.4 volt on the old school first and see how it sounds. Plastic gearbox and all. There we go. Okay, semi only, safe off, and not bad. Let's go ahead and flip it to full auto. That's not bad. Even with a plastic gearbox and it being 8 to 9 years old, that's not bad. And Cat, why are you in the footage? Why? Just go, okay? Just go. Flying Kitty! Now let's go ahead and go with the full metal gearbox, new kid on the block, the current generation of Thompson, and see how she handles a 8.4 volt. And this is all stock, and I've done nothing to it. Cat, would you please go away? God, this thing is heavy. Okay, so she's on semi-auto only. Let's go ahead. That's not bad. That is definitely the louder FPS kicking in. Woo! Woo! Higher rate of fire. Okay, let's go ahead and take off the battery. Now that was an 8.4 volt. 1600 milliamp. Why don't we go ahead and pop on the 9.4 volt 1600 milliamp and see how she does. Once again, old school, and we will be going through the actual thing of semi only. So, semi-auto. Very responsive trigger, and I found that nice little sweet spot. Full auto. Definitely nice. Definitely nice. Once again, 9 years old. The old generation gun has hit 9 years old to date. That is amazing rate of fire for a 9-year-old gun. Let's go with the current generation of Thompson and see how she deals with a 9.4 volt 1600 milliamp. And I'm going to give you guys a challenge to guess the rate of fire when it goes to full auto. So, once again, semi-auto. She locked up. Not an issue with the old generation, that is an issue with the new generation. Flip her to full auto. And she does jam up on semi-auto. That is a problem that I can see in the future. But once again, this is a Thompson submachine gun. It's not meant for semi-auto, it is meant for full auto action. So I can understand why she'd be like that. So, let's go ahead and close up the buttstock, which once again, I do like the actual spring action. I do like that's how it's designed. Lock it down. Close up this one, which I will admit there is more spacious room in the older generation than there is in the newer generation of buttstock. Once again, I might switch these out so I have the actual room for battery in the old generation, which I will be doing a lot of, but when I actually do review these guns, I'm going to leave them in the current stock form, but when I actually finally get done reviewing them, I'm going to start swapping around parts, and I am going to actually see how they perform in the combinations I do with them. So, my overall thoughts on them all is this. While, yes, you can still get the older generation of Thompson for a very, very cheap price, and believe me, I love the old school stuff, and I do believe that the old school stuff actually still has a purpose in the current generation of airsoft, and the small screw is definitely going to drive me mad, which I will have to figure out why that is. I'm not going to lie when I say that there is, in fact, a place for them in the current generation. Well, I'm not going to lie, the old school still has, the new school and the present day Thompsons still have a place, and this thing is going to drive me mad, so I'm probably just going to drop that out because I know this thing will actually hold very well for the one that's here. I'm not going to lie when I say that they are both equally good in their own right. Now, while yes, the price tag of this one is actually, that's going to come up in a review, pretty expensive, I'm not going to lie, the comfortability of each one is still good for what they are. Even though both are comfortable in their own right, although this one cannot accept the new generation of mag, well, not the drum mags compared to the new generation, but it does accept the old stick mags, the 300 high, the stick mags, like these. So that's definitely a good compromise, in my opinion. So I know a lot of you are probably asking, so Al, what is your real final verdict? What's your real final thoughts. Those are my real final thoughts. Both are equally good in their own right. Both are equally classed in their own right. New school, old school versus new school, both win out. And even though the old school actually does do the caliber .45 M1A1, while the new school does caliber 6mm, I am gonna have my gripes. But if you really, 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 really want something that, in my opinion, actually works really well, and you want something that you can definitely have on a wall, I'd go with this one. But if you want the new school and you want the customization, I'd go with this one. But at the same time, this can be customized as well. So I'm not saying that they're both, I'm not saying which one you should get. I am saying what I'm saying. Both are equally good in their own right, and I can't decide which one I love more. The old school or the new school. Nostalgia, present day combat. I seriously can't decide. So I'm gonna let you guys basically discuss it in the comments section down below of what you think of my comparison of the old Thompson versus the new Thompson AEG. Well, thank you guys for watching the second installment of Airsoft Al Compares and / 500 subscriber special. I want to thank everyone out there who basically got me to 500 subscribers. I thank you so very much. The unboxing video for the new Thompson will be coming out very soon. I promise you guys that. But I will admit, both are equally good. Both, in my own rights, are definitely good buys if you want to get them. Both are, okay, this one's actually more affordable at 50 bucks, but this one here is about, It really is up to you guys to decide. But if Cybergun or someone from Cybergun is watching this and they have their own thoughts on my thoughts, or they want to throw in their 2 cents on these two guns and what they think about them, then by all means go ahead and throw it in. And if the president of Cybergun is watching this and he's thinking, hey, this kid's got a good point on our guns, then email me. I don't care. I personally don't care if you're going to send me guns or not. I really do not care. I'm one of those guys that I'm easy to work with. Unless you want to censor me, then by all means I will fight you. But either way, really, thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the front lines. Until next time.